You can't build a new life with an old mind. Welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. Let me tell you the truth that hurts. You don't have a life problem, you have a mind problem. You don't have an opportunity problem, you have a thinking problem. You don't have a money problem, you have a mindset problem. You don't have a future problem, you have a mental programming problem. You keep trying to change your life with the same thinking. You keep trying to build something new with an old mind. You keep trying to reach new levels with old beliefs. You keep trying to create a new future with old habits. You keep trying to transform without reprogramming. You don't need a new environment. You need a new identity. You don't need a new city. You need a new mindset. You don't need new people. You need new thinking. You don't need new opportunities. You need new standards. You don't need more motivation. You need mental surgery. You don't upgrade your life. You replace your mind. You don't evolve your future. You kill your old thinking. You don't build destiny with broken beliefs. You don't create greatness with weak standards. You don't reach excellence with comfort thinking. You don't build power with fear-based decisions. You don't become elite with average mentality. And that's the truth. You can't build a new life with an old mind. Main topic 1. OLD mindset destruction. Mental death phase. The old mind must die, not improve, not adjust, not evolve. Die. Old thinking is poison. Old beliefs are chains. Old habits are cages. Old patterns are prisons. Old standards are limits. Old identity is a trap. You don't grow with old thinking. You suffocate with it. You don't rise with old belief. You stagnate with them. You don't evolve with old habits. You repeat with them. You don't elevate with old identity. You stay trapped in it. Old mind creates old results. Old mind creates old income. Old mind creates old relationships. Old mind creates old limits. Old mind creates old pain. Old mind creates old cycles. Old mind creates old failure. Old mind creates old struggle. Old mind creates old excuses. Old mind creates old fear. Old mind creates old comfort. Old mind creates old weakness. You can't expect new outcomes with old thinking. You can't expect new levels with old standards. You can't expect new identity with old habits. You can't expect new future with old discipline. Mental death is required. Psychological separation is required. Identity destruction is required. Comfort thinking must die. Victim thinking must die. Scarcity thinking must die. Fear thinking must die. Lazy thinking must die. Emotional thinking must die. Excuse thinking must die. Soft thinking must die. Average thinking must die. Small thinking must die. Limited thinking must die. Weak thinking must die. You don't reform the old mind. You replace it. You don't fix broken thinking. You delete it. You don't manage old patterns. You destroy them. You don't negotiate with mental weakness. You eliminate it. Mental death is painful, but mental stagnation is fatal. Transformation hurts, but staying the same destroys. Change burns, but regret rots. Growth wounds, but wasted potential kills. Main topic 2. Mindset versus identity. The core truth. Mindset is not thoughts. Mindset is structure. Mindset is programming. Mindset is conditioning. Mindset is repetition. Mindset is habits. Mindset is routines. Mindset is standards. Mindset is behavior. Mindset is execution. Mindset is discipline. Mindset is identity. You don't think your way into a new life. You live your way into a new mind. You don't visualize transformation. You behave into it. You don't affirm your way into discipline. You train into it. You don't speak greatness. You build it. You don't manifest success. You Executed identity controls behavior, behavior controls results, results control life change, identity change, behavior change, life old identity, creates old cycles, old identity, creates old patterns, old identity, creates old limits, old identity, creates old ceilings, old identity, creates old excuses, old identity, creates old comfort, old identity, creates old weakness, old identity, creates old failure, old identity, creates old fear. Don't upgrade identity, you replace it. You don't edit identity, you rebuild it. You don't adjust identity, you reconstruct it. You don't manage identity, you reprogram. Identity is built, identity is trained, identity is enforced, identity is repeated, identity is disciplined, identity is structured, identity is conditioned, identity is automated, identity is programmed, identity is engineered, identity is installed, identity is reinforced, identity is protected, identity is guarded, identity is sacred, identity is destiny. Main topic 3. Comfort thinking, the invisible prison. Comfort thinking is slavery. Comfort thinking is weakness. Comfort thinking is addiction. Comfort thinking is sedation. Comfort thinking is decay. Comfort thinking is stagnation. Comfort thinking is paralysis. Comfort thinking is death. Comfort thinking says wait. Discipline thinking says move. Comfort thinking says later. Discipline thinking says now. Comfort thinking says rest. Discipline thinking says train. Comfort thinking says safe. Discipline thinking says growth. Comfort thinking says easy. Discipline thinking says pressure. Comfort thinking says balance. Discipline thinking says obsession. Comfort thinking protects feelings. Discipline thinking builds futures. Comfort thinking avoids pain. Discipline thinking uses it. Comfort thinking fears pressure. Discipline thinking requires it. Comfort thinking wants ease. Discipline thinking wants power. Comfort thinking loves stability. Discipline thinking loves growth. Comfort thinking hates discomfort. Discipline thinking trains in it. Comfort thinking builds excuses. Discipline thinking builds empires. Comfort thinking creates average. Discipline thinking creates elite. Comfort thinking keeps you small. Discipline thinking makes you dangerous. Comfort thinking numbs hunger. Discipline thinking sharpens it. Comfort thinking kills obsession. Discipline thinking builds it. Comfort thinking is emotional. Discipline thinking is structured. Comfort thinking is reactive. Discipline thinking is controlled. Comfort thinking is fragile. Discipline thinking is resilient. Comfort thinking is soft. Discipline thinking is hard. Comfort thinking is weak. Discipline thinking is dominant. You can't build a new life with comfort thinking. Main topic 4. Mental reprogramming, new code installation. New life requires new code. New future requires new programming. New destiny requires new thinking. New level requires new standards. New outcomes require new habits. New results require new structure. New success requires new systems. New identity requires new discipline. Reprogram the mind, replace the patterns, rewrite the habits, rebuild the standards, restructure the routines, redesign the days, re-engineer the lifestyle, reinforce the discipline, reinstall the code. New mind is built. New mind is trained. New mind is enforced. New mind is repeated. New mind is structured. New mind is conditioned. New mind is automated. New mind is programmed. New mind is systemized. New mind is ritualized. New mind is normalized. New mind is stabilized. New mind is reinforced. New mind is protected. New mind is guarded. New mind is defended. New mind is sacred. You don't wait for change, you enforce it, you don't hope. For discipline, you build it, you don't seek structure, you install it, you don't chase focus, you create it, you don't ask for motivation, you replace it with standards. You don't live by emotion, you live by code. You don't move by feeling, you move by structure. You don't act by mood, you act by discipline. You don't live by comfort, you live by standards. You don't follow desire, you follow identity. You don't follow fear, you follow purpose. You don't follow ease, you follow growth. Main topic 5. Reality activation, brutal truth mode. You're not stuck, you reprogrammed, you not broken, you reconditioned, you not unlucky, you untrained, you not lost, you undisciplined, you not behind, you distracted, you not weak, you soft, you not confused, you unstructured, you not failing, you repeating, you not cursed, you comfortable, you not doomed, you undeveloped, you not damaged, you unconditioned, you not hopeless, you uncommitted, you not powerless, you undisciplined, you not trapped, you untrained, you not overwhelmed, you unstructured, you not depressed, you distracted, you not anxious, you unprepared, you not afraid, you undisciplined. A new mind changes everything, new thinking changes everything, new standards change everything, new discipline changes everything, new structure changes everything, new habits change everything, new identity changes everything, new behavior changes everything, new routines change everything, new mindset changes everything, new code changes everything, new system changes everything, new life starts in the mind. Main topic 1. Comfort programming, the system that controls you. Comfort is not rest, comfort is control, comfort is not peace, comfort is sedation, comfort is not safety, comfort is slavery, comfort is not balance, comfort is decay, comfort is not healing, comfort is stagnation, comfort is not protection, comfort is limitation, comfort is not self-care, comfort is self-destruction, comfort is not kindness, comfort is weakness training, comfort is not love, comfort is addiction, comfort is not calm, comfort is numbness, comfort is not stability, comfort is paralysis, comfort is not recovery, comfort is regression, comfort is programming, comfort is conditioning, comfort is systemized weakness, comfort is emotional dependency, comfort is fear protection, comfort is pain avoidance, comfort is effort avoidance, comfort is pressure avoidance, comfort is responsibility avoidance, comfort is discipline avoidance, comfort is identity erosion, comfort trains fragility, comfort trains dependence, comfort trains excuses, comfort trains delay, comfort trains laziness, comfort trains procrastination, comfort trains entitlement, comfort trains mediocrity, comfort trains weakness, comfort trains avoidance, comfort trains fear, comfort trains softness, comfort trains collapse. Comfort thinking says, wait until you feel ready. You deserve a break. Not today, tomorrow is fine. You're tired, you've done enough. Take it easy, rest first. You'll start later. Disciplined thinking says, do it tired, do it scared, do it now, do it anyway, do it daily, do it consistently, do it relentlessly, do it when it hurts, do it when it's hard. Comfort keeps you alive, discipline makes you powerful, comfort preserves existence, discipline creates dominance, comfort protects feelings, discipline builds futures, comfort saves energy, discipline builds capacity, comfort avoids stress, discipline builds strength, comfort avoids struggle, discipline builds resilience, comfort avoids pain, discipline uses pain, comfort avoids pressure, discipline becomes pressure, comfort creates average, discipline creates elite, comfort creates survival, discipline creates legacy. Main topic 2. Emotional pattern destruction. Feelings are not leaders. Emotions are signals, not commands. Feelings are information, not authority. Mood is chemical, not destiny. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Emotion changes daily. Discipline stays permanent. Feelings are unstable. Structure is stable. Emotion is chaotic. Discipline is ordered. Emotion is reactive. Discipline is controlled. Emotion is impulsive. Discipline is calculated. Emotion is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Emotion is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. Emotion is fragile. Discipline is durable. Emotion is loud. Discipline is silent. Emotion is fast. Discipline is consistent. Emotion seeks comfort. Discipline seeks growth. Emotion avoids pain. Discipline uses pain. Emotion wants ease. Discipline wants power. Emotion protects ego. Discipline builds identity. Emotional living creates chaos. Emotional living creates cycles. Emotional living creates patterns. Emotional living creates relapse. Emotional living creates inconsistency. Emotional living creates excuses. Emotional living creates weakness. Emotional living creates instability. Emotional living creates failure. Emotional living creates collapse. Emotional living creates burnout. Emotional living creates confusion. Emotional living creates dependency. Emotional living creates stagnation. Emotional living creates regret. Emotional living creates repetition. Emotional living creates destruction. Discipline living creates order. Discipline living creates structure. Discipline living creates growth. Discipline living creates stability. Discipline living creates strength. Discipline living creates consistency. Discipline living creates identity. Discipline living creates power. Discipline living creates dominance. Discipline living creates confidence. Discipline living creates momentum. Discipline living creates resilience. Discipline living creates focus. Discipline living creates clarity. Discipline living creates execution. Discipline living creates results. Discipline living creates legacy. You don't need better emotions, you need better systems. You don't need stronger feelings, you need stronger structure. You don't need more motivation, you need more discipline. You don't need hype, you need habits. You don't need inspiration, you need standards. You don't need energy, you need consistency. You don't need belief, you need behavior. You don't need confidence, you need competence. You don't need courage, you need repetition. You don't need hope, you need structure. Main topic 3. Discipline systems, the engine of transformation. Discipline is not willpower. Discipline is design. Discipline is not force. Discipline is structure. Discipline is not hype. Discipline is systems. Discipline is not emotion. Discipline is automation. Discipline is not motivation. Discipline is routine. Discipline is not inspiration. Discipline is ritual. Discipline is not intensity. Discipline is consistency. Discipline is not desire. Discipline is standards. Discipline is not feeling. Discipline is identity. Discipline is built. Discipline is trained. Discipline is repeated. Discipline is conditioned. Discipline is programmed. Discipline is installed. Discipline is automated. Discipline is reinforced. Discipline is ritualized. Discipline is normalized. Discipline is stabilized. Discipline is enforced. Discipline is protected. Discipline is guarded. Discipline is sacred. Systems create freedom. Structure creates focus. Routine creates consistency. Ritual creates identity. Standards create excellence. Habits create outcome. Structure creates stability. Systems create momentum. Discipline creates power. Order creates clarity. Repetition creates mastery. Training creates dominance. Execution creates results. Consistency creates confidence. Identity creates destiny. You don't rise randomly, you rise systemically. You don't grow accidentally, you grow structurally. You don't succeed. Emotionally, you succeed. Methodically, you don't evolve. Magically, you evolve. Mechanically, you don't win. By feeling, you win. By structure, you don't dominate. By desire, you dominate. By discipline, you don't transform. By hope, you transform. By systems, you don't build power. By hype, you build power. By habits, you don't create greatness. By emotion, you create greatness. By routine, you don't build legacy. By motivation, you build legacy. By repetition. Main topic 4. Identity engineering. Becoming, not trying. You don't try to change, you become different. You don't attempt. Discipline, you embody. Discipline, you don't practice. Consistency, you live. Consistency, you don't chase. Excellence, you operate in excellence. You don't seek. Structure, you function in structure. You don't pursue. Growth, you live. Growth, you don't look for. Focus, you become focused. You don't hope for strength, you train strength. You don't want power, you build power. You don't desire success, you construct success. You don't wish for dominance, you develop dominance. Identity is who you are. Identity is what you do. Identity is what you repeat. Identity is what you tolerate. Identity is what you enforce. Identity is what you protect. Identity is what you allow. Identity is what you resist. Identity is what you sacrifice. Identity is what you suffer for. Identity is what you fight for. Identity is what you refuse. Identity is what you reject. Identity is what you become. Old identity must collapse. Old identity must die. Old identity must be buried. Old identity must be erased. Old identity must be deleted. Old identity must be destroyed. New identity must be built. New identity must be trained. New identity must be enforced. New identity must be protected. New identity must be repeated. New identity must be disciplined. New identity must be conditioned. New identity must be structured. New identity must be systemized. New identity must be automated. New identity must be stabilized. New identity must be normalized. New identity must be permanent. Main topic 5. Mental dominance. Elite thinking mode. Elite minds are calm. Elite minds are disciplined. Elite minds are structured. Elite minds are focused. Elite minds are controlled. Elite minds are stable. Elite minds are consistent. Elite minds are resilient. Elite minds are relentless. Elite minds are patient. Elite minds are precise. Elite minds are intentional. Elite minds are relentless. Elite minds are ruthless with weakness. Elite minds are merciless with excuses. Elite minds are brutal with comfort. Elite minds are violent with laziness. Elite minds are savage with mediocrity. Elite minds reject average. Elite minds reject excuses. Elite minds reject softness. Elite minds reject weakness. Elite minds reject entitlement. Elite minds reject victimhood. Elite minds reject delay. Elite minds reject fear. Elite minds reject stagnation. Elite minds reject complacency. Elite minds reject comfort. Elite minds reject emotional leadership. Elite minds reject chaos. Elite minds reject disorder. Elite minds reject distraction. Elite minds reject inconsistency. Elite minds reject laziness. Elite minds reject dependence. Elite minds reject collapse. Elite minds choose structure. Elite minds choose pressure. Elite minds choose discipline. Elite minds choose growth. Elite minds choose suffering. Elite minds choose repetition. Elite minds choose training. Elite minds choose standards. Elite minds choose identity. Elite minds choose dominance. Elite minds choose excellence. Elite minds choose responsibility. Elite minds choose struggle. Elite minds choose pain. Elite minds choose pressure. Elite minds choose sacrifice. Elite minds choose obsession. Elite minds choose greatness. Part 2. Closing transition. Retention bridge. Comfort programming is broken. Emotional leadership is Destroyed discipline systems are installed. Identity engineering has started. Elite mindset is forming mental dominance, is activating structure, is replacing chaos. Standards are replacing excuses. Discipline is replacing emotion. Identity is replacing weakness. Code is replacing comfort. Systems are replacing motivation. Structure is replacing desire. Consistency is replacing hype. Habits are replacing hope. Execution is replacing talk. Action is replacing fantasy. Behavior is replacing belief. Discipline is replacing feelings. Identity is replacing ego. Structure is replacing chaos. Transition line. In part 3, we activate execution. We lock identity. We solidify discipline. We harden mindset. We enforce standards. We install permanence. We build mental armor. We create psychological dominance. We finalize transformation. We complete the new identity. Fire. End of part 2.